Welcome to Golden Chat, where we provide straight talk. Each week, we deliver great insights on senior living. And today, I'm your host with Lana, your co host, and Pedro as well. Good afternoon.
Good
Good afternoon,
afternoon.
everyone.
Beautiful. So let's get started with today's topic. What type of support is available to you as caregiver of your loved ones? So we had a scenario. We had a Ralph call in last week, and he has his mother that resides with him, and she's a senior. And Ralph is married, so his wife and his two children, they're all cohabitating, and he's wanting to know, what type of supports out there for him and his wife, because they're
Mhm.
finding challenges
Mhm.
in finding activities and things for her to do while they work, and what's out there is what he really wants to know. So let's see if we can help him out.
Yeah, that's a real life situation. And I personally know a lot of people in that situation. And sometimes they don't reach out because they feel like they have to take on, it's their responsibility. They have to take on that situation. But there are some option available. And Pedro, you were yourself in that situation before you started your own assisted living facility, correct?
I was, and first I want to start by giving you some great accommodations. Just kudos to you for taking on that
Sure.
role, being a caregiver, because a caregiver is an individual who cares for the person that they're giving treatment to. They're caring for, really, and they're doing that as a full-time job. So that means they're available for all their needs. Whatever their needs may be, that person is there and present. That's really what a caregiver is. It can be quite challenging at times. One of the options that are available out there are adult adult daycare centers. So an adult daycare center operates similar to school hours. They can be somewhere between 7 a.m. all the way up to 7 or 8 p.m. in the evening. You just have to find a center that can accommodate the times that you're needing. You are responsible for dropping off and picking up, or you can coordinate those type of rides. But they offer a stimulation for a senior citizen while they're there with group activities. There's some that are associated with medical clinics that doctors are able to go and see them also while they're there. So it's really just aligning yourself with the right adult daycare center, and of course demographically that fits your needs. A center that is close to your zip code, of course. So they're out there. I would definitely look on at your state agencies for adult daycare centers to see what comes up, and that's a good start.
Mhm. And
Mhm.
also another avenue, Ralph, is respite care. So let's just say that you and your wife need to go on a vacation, and you can call around to your local assisted living facilities, because if they have vacancies, they'll let you know what their daily rate is, and so they can actually come there and stay for a week or two, which can also give your wife and you guys a break, as well as giving your parent some a vacation as well,
Yeah.
because they probably need it just as much as you do. And one thing to remember is that it's a lot of stress when you start taking on the position as a caregiver. There's caregiver stress syndrome, and you start exhibiting the same signs as people with depression, because now maybe you're not eating and sleeping as well. And it's a hard time sometimes, even though it's rewarding to take care of that loved one because you're happy you can do it. But at the same time, it's going to put that extra burden on you and your wife. So you're going to need an outlet yourself. And there are support groups out there for you that you can look into as the Caregiver Association. So there are definitely resources available, and to help you go through this time, as well as helping your parent.
And
Yeah.
And while
Okay.
while you're caregiving, I'm sorry. So I just had a thought, but while you're providing these caregiving services, this is the time that you want to do planning also. So you may want
Mhm.
to plan what the next 12 to 24 months are going to look like, and if you think that she may need placement in the future, this is the time to start looking. Not to say that
Mhm.
you're looking because you're looking at placing in the next a few months, but this gives you an idea of cost projection. What location you think she'd
Mhm.
like. Allow her to be part of that process, but planning is going to be paramount in this because as you can tell, or as you already know, um, if without a plan, you're going to find yourself being strained.
Mhm.
That is true. That is true. You want to have those conversations early on because, as Pedro just said, it alleviates a lot of stress, a lot of having to think on the spot. And something as well, another option you want to think about is the home health agencies. They can come up to 4 hours per day to assist with anything you have, like medication management and meal. I don't even do meal prep per se, but anything that you would need,
Mhm.
they can help with. So if you can afford it, reach out to them because that could actually take time off your schedule for you and your wife.
And also, think about other family members you can resource. Collaborate the care with them as well if you have that option. Some people don't have that option, but don't ever feel like you have to take on the burden 100% yourself. There's also financial assistance. Medicaid will pay a certain percentage of adult daycare and respite care as well. So you have to look into that. It's like Pedro said, start planning ahead. Ask the questions you need to ask. Have the discussion with your parent that you
Mhm.
definitely want them to get some social engagement outside of the home because that's healthy. There's also community centers in your area that maybe they can go and spend a half a day at. And there's also free activities for seniors that most people aren't aware of, like an arts and crafts group where they can get out for 4 or 5 hours in the day and maybe just do that once a week. But anything that they can do to facilitate their daily well-being and their mental health, as well as your mental health and your well-being,
True,
it's
true.
it's for everyone, not just for the caregiver, but everyone needs that an outlet that's going to help relieve the stress of the burden of the caregiver.
That is true. I would say as well, sometimes we often think about families, but friends could be a good support too. And if you're part of a church, don't hesitate to reach out to your church members. They're your family, your extended family. So
Mm-hmm.
if you start thinking outside of the box, who people who actually are loving people, friends, you may be part of an association, of a group, and you may reach out there too because you never know, somebody can be willing to spend time, or they may have spare time, or somebody may be working from home. Somebody who can work from home can actually bring their laptop, and or you can have your parents going to them maybe for a day. So there's like solutions for you, because sometimes we mentioning options, but what you really want is solutions. You want the help there.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say reach out to people who may be available and maybe will be available if you do ask. Sometimes it's just taking the courage to ask, because we don't want to other people, but there may be a situation for them as well to socialize. So ask.
Right.
I would
And
say
in
That's
the
ask.
worst, I'm sorry,
that.
and in the worst case scenario,
Mhm.
if you find yourself, in a situation,
Hmm.
there's FML, Family Leave Act. You can take some family time off, and then you can reorganize your life for a short period of time just to get, things, because
Mhm.
it sounds as if, things are a little disorganized right now. So those are some options, Lana.
Well, and it's when Stella was just talking about being creative, it made me think about when my son went through and they had to introduce all their science projects. And one of the seniors had music therapy and the focus was on seniors. So if you think about that, people that are music therapists that would definitely even possibly love to even come and volunteer and
True.
see your loved one. So there's a lot of things to do to actually have people come and visit with them that may be volunteers that
Mhm.
definitely aren't, they're not necessarily going to charge you for. That could be an option, as well as, as she's saying, just be a little bit creative because there's people willing to help. We just have to reach out and ask for the help.
True.
Well, you guys, thank us so much. We appreciate every week when people give us feedback and even give us case scenarios so we can discuss it, because it really helps other people in the same situation. So we hope the caregiver's advice today was very good for you. And please just, stay tuned to us on a weekly basis because we're here to help. So send us any questions by calling us at 407-794-7277 or email us at hello@easierlivingforyou.com. Find all of our previous podcasts on www.easierlivingforyou.com. And please join us again next week at 12:45 p.m. on Golden Chat.
Have a great week.
Have a great week.
Thank
Take
you,
care.
guys. Bye.